This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Athletics.
Leaping at the wall, it's gone! A towering drive into center field by Rooker.
And 29 other MLB clubs.
A judging it blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Swung on, hit high, hit deep to right, away back into the second deck.
Bobby Witt Jr. becomes the first shortstop in Major League history to have two 30-30 seasons.
Shohei Ohtani starts the 50-50 club.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to walk-off dingers to Hall of Fame talk. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to A's Cast Live from the ballpark in West Sacramento, getting you ready for Game 2 between the Athletics and the San Diego Padres. We have a great show for you today. I'm already ready for my Tuesday Hot Take. We are bringing back, it's the first edition of 2025, Tuesday Hot Takes. And I mean, I want hot takes. I don't want chalk. I don't want things that are easily predicted. I want outlandish. I want crazy, because, Michael, just a little bit down.
Yeah, same headphones.
Just a little bit down. There you go. I want crazy. Why? Because that's what a hot take is. Most hot takes are not going to be correct, because if they were correct, they weren't that hot of takes.
Yeah.
So today is the first day, Hot Take Tuesday 2025. I hope you are ready, because I can tell you, I have just looked at today's scoreboard, because we have a lot of games going on in baseball right now. They've actually moved up games to try and get it, to try and have the game start earlier in the day in the sun, because it is so cold on the East Coast right now that they're worried about, once the sun goes down, if they're playing night games are going to be in the 20s. So I know the Marlins and the Mets, they're in Queens, got started early because they were worried that game time would be game temperature would be at 31 degrees, and by the time the sun goes down, it's going to be who knows. So a lot of games in baseball started earlier today, but there is one score out there right now that is really going to help my hot take. I can't wait. I hope you're bringing fuel on the first one, Commander, because if you have chalk, I'm going to be upset.
Well, this is going to be interesting, because the take I always have, I can't ever bury a team, but I think I'm ready to finally bury a team after a while.
We're 11 games in.
I know, but we've done it every year the last few years about burying a team, and then they come back alive.
You're taking it. Why is the NBC TV below us showing the Suns?
I think it's Warriors Suns tonight in the Valley of the Sun.
Oh, really?
I think. I don't know. I'm a Kings guy.
Is this a Kevin Durant against the Warriors game? Is Durant even playing?
Yeah, I believe he is playing.
Does he still play for the Suns?
I mean, we're going to see the Kings tomorrow, and the Nuggets fired their coach and general manager, I believe. Chaos all over the NBA.
I got to admit, once I got out of doing Warriors, I did do 2 championship seasons, by the way, pre and post for the Golden State Warriors. I did raise the banner twice with the Warriors, the last 2 at Oracle. But since then, I'm kind of out. I'm out. I'm out of the NBA.
And when I'm out, I'm out.
And I was really never in the NBA. They needed a point guard for the show to get them in and out of breaks and to make things a little more exciting. I'm really a football, baseball guy.
You were the point guard for the.
Once Larry Bird retired, I was out.
Second time today I've heard that joke.
It works every single time. We have a great show for you. We have a player to be named.
No, confirmed. Noah Murdock.
The 6'8" right-hander.
We might have to get a bigger camera.
I got to tell you, if a hoop game breaks out in Major League Baseball, Perdomo is what, 6'8"?
He's big too, yeah.
Murdock is 6'8". Who else is like 6'7", 6? There's somebody else 6'7" around here. Mason Miller's 6'5".
Miller's big, yeah. But we don't have some of the guys we had last year. God,
Joe Boyle was 6'6", but he's gone.
Kyle Muller's now a 2-way player in Japan. He was huge.
Kyle Muller's taking BP and hitting the ball at the ballpark, so we laughed as Kyle Muller our old friend Kyle Muller becoming the American Shohei Ohtani in Japan.
Grant Holman was big, but he's in AAA.
When he gets back, he can be a stretch 4.
Yeah, Perdomo's 6'8", you're right.
Murdock's 6'8".
Yep.
Our front line's pretty big.
Waldachuk was 6'4", so when he comes back,
he's still here.
Yeah, and then down in Las Vegas, Ryan Cusick, who's on the 40-man roster, is also 6'6".
You know who might be running point for us? Who's super athletic?
I was going to say
who's got some size. No, he's got some size. I think you guys have all forgotten Zach Geloff. We saw Geloff today.
I thought we were sticking to just
guys
pitchers.
On the 26.
I thought we were talking to sticking to pitchers.
No, I'm just saying, maybe.
Well, Kurtz is big.
I mean, coming off the bench as a player coach is going to be Scott Emerson, who's joining us today. So the pitching coach, it's Tuesday. It's Lab Tuesday. Oh, I like it. Lab Tuesday.
Yeah, because
when we're at home, we're usually gonna get Scott Emerson
Tuesdays. Yeah,
on Tuesdays. We go into the pitching lab with the pitching doctor Scott Emerson today. That's going to be at 5:30. 5 o'clock will be hot takes. Johnny Doskow.
Bro,
we're going to see.
Bro, the A's are going to win a game.
I tell you what, he better not be coming down here talking about how he's got to be prepared for his 3 innings he has to do today.
I just gave you his hot take. Bro, the A's are going to win a game this week.
His 4-minute pregame show he's worried about. He better come ready with some hot takes today.
Well, I still have our last open from last year when we did it, and his Angel Hernandez take is in there.
No. Oh, is it? Yeah. Are we missing Angel Hernandez?
Johnny might say, yes, we are.
Noah Murdock, great story, Rule 5 pick. We've gone over Rule 5 picks. Always, it's an interesting, we're gonna draft a guy from your organization. We're going to take him. We're going to bring him in here, and he's got to be here all year long. And if at any point we don't want him here, we got to offer him back to you. No other sport does this. And the pressure for a Rule 5 guy to prove himself is absolutely huge. So Mitch Spence, I think of one of the greatest Rule 5 picks of all time. He's considered, Roberto Clemente.
Yes.
It's even hard to believe that there was a Rule 5 back then, that they thought about this that long ago and we're still doing it. But Roberto Clemente, did the Dodgers have him and the Pirates got him?
Just another guy the Dodgers gave up on.
Wow. Can you imagine? You gave it. Roberto Clemente, was it? But I don't even know, did they have 40-man rosters back then?
I don't know how that worked out.
Yeah, it was a different time. But yeah,
it definitely wasn't a loosey-goosey era back then either.
Roberto Clemente, for God's sakes, was a Dodger farmhand, and they let him go. One of the greatest players of all time. But when you look at lists for greatest Rule 5 of all time, on that list and usually in the top 5 is Mark Canha.
Absolutely.
The A's with Mark Canha. So Noah Murdock will be here on A's Cast Live. We'll take you up till about, 6 o'clock?
Yep. 5, yes, we'll say 6, yes.
And then
Johnny and Ken take over.
Then I'll be back with Steve Sachs for A's Cast on NBC to get you ready for today's game, Padres and Athletics. We can either go what I'm super excited about.
Michael just informed us the 40-man roster. Well, I don't know. He gave us a stat yesterday. He was wrong. 1921 when 40-man rosters were implemented, he's saying.
Michael is not, let's just say, where did you go to school?
Arizona State.
Oh, yeah. He's one of these Arizona State Cronkite kids you can't trust. He has already given fake news.
What was he? Oh, he said Carney Lancer won a batting title for us in 1968.
And Carney Lancer would have been in junior high. So he's been, he is from the college era when fake news started and real journalism went out the door. So we can't trust. We have to fact check. You want to know how sad it is here on A's Cast Live? We've got to fact check our fact checkers.
Yeah, it's not great.
We're like the who does that? The Washington Post checks the fact checkers.
Yes.
Like CNN. Twitter. Well, the CNN wasn't right, or Fox News, they weren't right.
Twitter and X now fact check, I believe, too. And
we've got to have fact checkers check because yesterday he gave us really bad info on Carney Lansford, who, by the way, is a A's Hall of Famer.
Correct. Yeah, 1968 he won a batting title for the A's in some alternate reality Michael's living in.
No, he would have been at some junior high in San Jose, California.
We went to Wilcox High, I believe, right? In San Jose. Okay, yeah. So that was pre that. Yeah. Get him next time, kid. Did he go to
Wilcox?
I thought it was Wilcox.
Yeah, I think Wilcox is in Santa Clara.
I think that's where he went to school.
Did he go to Wilcox?
Let's see. Hold on.
It's been a long time since we had
high school, Wilcox High School, Santa Clara, California.
The great Carney Lansford.
Friend of the program.
All right, I don't know where to go here because I got stuff that I'm super positive about and I'm absolutely loving. and then I got one stat for you that's scaring the hell out of me. Where do you want to go?
Well, we always sell hope and fear. So start
Hope
with
and
hope.
worry. We sell hope and worry.
Start with the hope.
All right, we're going to start with hope. My God, these numbers on Tyler Soderstrom are mind-blowing. Tyler Soderstrom, okay, had 9 home runs in his first 106 games. That's nothing mind-blowing. All of a sudden, Tyler Soderstrom, who is a really low-key kid from the Valley, first-round pick, last year had that little issue with his wrist, but he has always been supremely confident. He's kind of been like Aaron Rodgers. Relax. He's putting the baseball world on notice that he's a premier hitter in this league. And he is a guy that also is super athletic. And I'm watching right now, Cody, look to your right. Look who's taking fly balls out in left field with.
Oh, wow.
Tyler Soderstrom is taking fly balls. News alert. We've talked about Nick Kurtz is coming. What are you going to do? Tyler Soderstrom's going to have to play other places at some point because Nick Kurtz is the first baseman of the future, even though Tyler Soderstrom has really taken over. Tyler Soderstrom's played a great first base. Bobby Crosby is in the outfield right now. We can see it with Tyler Soderstrom in left field. I have said this is going to be a great problem to have. But this is one of the great things about A's Cast Live and that we're here. We're here so early. We used to be on the field, but now we have our great perch here at the ballpark in West Sacramento. I can confirm I am watching Tyler Soderstrom take fly balls in left field with Bobby Crosby standing behind him. That is super, super interesting. So before the so-called insiders start tweeting it out, you heard it here first.
Where is Martine? He's probably hanging out in the dugout.
He's probably eating cookies, drinking coffee up, and Martine's got it cushy these days.
He's getting soft.
But that is an interesting note.
Oh, wait. That.
On Tyler Soderstrom, what we are seeing, he has 7 multi-hit games this year that leads Major League Baseball. He's tied with Aaron Judge for the most home runs at 6. Tyler Soderstrom's numbers, hitting .381, 6 home runs, 10 RBIs, a 1,292 OPS, 16 hits in the first 11 games. He is crushing fastballs. His 2 home runs last night, both off four-seam fastballs. How's he doing against the four-seam fastball? He's hitting .458 against it this year. He is mashing the baseball. Did we figure out and confirm two home run games at the age of 23, him and Matt Olson?
Correct, yeah. So
is that just modern day time? Or
Tyler Soderstrom is the first A's player aged 23 or younger with two homer games in a season since Matt Olson in 2017. But then there's another stat, too. Soderstrom is just the 3rd player in franchise history with 2 multi-homer games within the team's first 11 games of a season. The other 2, Joe Hauser in
Jimmy Fox.
Joe Hauser in 1928, and the other guy, you might have heard of him, his name is right there on the wall in front of us.
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson in 1974.
Reginald Martinez. Okay, so that's not that big of it. You guys are trying to make that stat out. So you're saying 2 games where he hit 2 home runs in a game. It's just the first time since Matt Olson. You guys kind of oversold that.
Age 23 or younger.
23 is not that young.
I didn't overblow it. Martine's one told me about it first.
You guys kind of.
The MLB research team sent it to him, and then he gave it to me.
I mean, how are you not excited about Tyler Soderstrom? Like, I was joking last night. You know, everybody's like, you know, we start talking about who's going to represent this ball club in the All-Star game. Tyler Soderstrom right now in the American League is one of the best players.
Don't worry, I won't go on a hot take yet and say he's going to enter and win the home run derby if he keeps hitting like this. Maybe that'll be my hot take. I kept doing that with Rooker.
You went with Rooker last year. That didn't work, but that would be brave for you to go back there.
Maybe I will.
I think it's a little early to be talking home run.
And All-Star game, but yeah.
Put that in the chamber and save that for a later day. You're going to need that in June. Wait, you know what? I will do you a favor, and I will kibosh everybody from any home run derby talk until you.
Okay.
Home run derby can be your That's your side of the street. Everybody has to stay off that side of the street.
Yeah, and the home run derby will be in Atlanta this year.
But no home run derby talk yet.
It's April.
It's April.
It's April. What is today? April 8th.
Yeah, because you really fell flat with your home run derby last year because Rooker didn't make the home run derby. So saying he was going to win the home run derby, you can't win the home run derby unless you're in the home run derby, and
Correct.
He was not in it.
Correct. The only thing I got read about the All-Star weekend is I said Skeens would pitch in the game. I didn't realize he was going to start the game, but he did pitch. But yeah.
By the way, there was an interesting article, MLB.com has it, that his splinker, he is messing with his splinker, and StatCast doesn't know how to register it because it really registered because of its velocity and its movement. A lot of people would look at it. Does it look like a split finger? Is it some type of off speed? But he throws it so hard. Once again, StatCast is just, it's radar. It's reading it, right? So if you throw something so hard, you can't really call it a changeup. So it was really being registered as a two-seamer, but he keeps messing with the grip. So this crazy pitch that Paul Skeens has that is dipping the vertical drop on it, but it has such velocity to it, you can't really call it an off-speed pitch. So StatCast is having a hard time because there's not a splinker category.
Yeah, he's pitching. He's on the mound tonight for the Pirates, who are looking to win 3 in a row, which I can't believe I'm saying.
Can I say the Pirate season is over? I'm willing.
Soon.
I'm willing to do that
too soon.
Your Buccos. I'm ready to sink. I'm ready to sink the Jolly Roger.
Well, yeah, 30 down 3-1. Skeens is. I think it's time to pack it in.
And whatever you and Dallas Braden and your guys' love for the Pirates, our guy there, he may be on the hot seat.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I almost went with that as my first hot take. I'm going to save Shelty for a while. We make it to September, Shelty, when we play them.
Shit. Oof. I don't know if.
But let's steer this back to the A's. Tyler Soderstrom has a chance tonight to take the major league lead in home runs because Aaron Judge and the Yankees shut out by the Detroit Tigers and Kerry Carpenter, who had a home run today in the lineup.
By the way, the Tigers have now won. Because I remember reading this yesterday, I believe with that win, the Tigers have won 5 straight.
Yeah, they're playing well. I heard some notes from AJ Hinch because we brought up
Scooble on the mound, and of course, isn't it funny when your pitcher's really good and he goes deeper into games, he wins the game? It's kind of weird how that happens. Yeah, you go 6 shutout innings. Guess what? You win the game.
Last night this morning, I was listening to Power Alley. They had Mike Farron and Duquette had AJ Hinch on, and he said that our team is unpredictable. And you have to manage against the entire roster, some of the quotes he was saying. He had some good quotes in there talking about the Tigers roster because we were talking about the construction and all that. Kerry Carpenter was in the lineup today against a righty. He had a home run. So,
yeah, they're very Giants-esque when you look at when the Giants won 107 games. I don't even remember what year was
2021.
2021. So when the Giants won 107 games, Gabe Kapler, you called him Cappy.
Friend of the program.
Gabe Kapler was the manager. Farhan Zaidi was the GM or president of baseball ops or whatever the hell.
President of baseball ops, yeah.
And they were the mix and match kings, and they were darlings for it. And it lasted. To me, it really is. It's like a get rich quick scheme. It can really work, but it's not sustainable. They led in pinch hits. They led in pinch hit home runs. They led in all this different stuff. And then the next year, it didn't work. It fell apart. Next thing you know, everybody's getting, people are looking for jobs. So until I see somebody sustain, but once again, it's about winning. This is going to be something we're going to get into. And just because the Tigers, because Chris Harris was the host of the, what's the show with the roses?
The Bachelor?
The Bachelor. He was the host of The Bachelor.
And he was also Chris Harris was also a corner for the Denver Broncos.
I was thinking of the more popular guy on television.
That's poor AFC West knowledge.
But yes, Scott Harris, he was the GM under Farhan and then got the job with Detroit. So it doesn't shock me that they're very similar philosophies. Very similar. So we'll see how that is going. Right now, it propelled Detroit at the end to get into the postseason, and right now Detroit starts out 7-4. And Tigers, I love Tiger Stadium. I think it's really cool. It's old school. Have you been there?
I have not.
Oh,
my wife and her family have been there.
You go to Tiger Stadium, it's like they threw up Tiger history. They did it correctly. Everywhere, there's Tigers everywhere, and their history is so long, and there's been so many great players. They did such a great job just loving themselves. And that's what a new ballpark should be, right? It should be you walk in there and like, this is Tiger Stadium and the history of the cursive D. And I mean, if you've never, like, you go to the newer of the ballparks, I think Tiger Stadium is one of the best. I just said the whole press box, like you go in there and it's just it's Ty Cobb and it's all the great Al Kaline.
I was saying you should tell your
that's my Al Kaline story. I fell in love. I mean, I could care less about the Tigers, but I thought the way they embraced who they are, they did it more than anybody else. Everybody else is trying to be too cute. Everybody's trying to be so modern, and our ballpark is so cool. You know what? As a fan, I want to walk in there and know that this is my stadium, and I want my history splattered. Like we're looking right here. This is the ballpark in West Sacramento. We're looking up. I see Reggie Jackson. I see Ricky Henderson. I see Dennis Eckersley. I see Raleigh Fingers. I see Dave Stewart. I look out, 9-time world champion. I want the ballpark to reek A's. I want to walk in and like go, you walk into Hocam and you look up and there's a big thing of McGuire and there's a big thing of Dave Stewart. I hope our new ballpark will look like that. I want to walk in. It's like my organization just threw up and it's just A stuff everywhere. Tigers did it, and Tiger Stadium's awesome.
You don't want it to be like the Pirates where they took down the Roberto Clemente patch in right field to put up a sponsorship.
Awful.
I mean, how do you do that?
Embrace your history. That's the one thing I can't wait for our new ballpark in Las Vegas. We might be bringing back an old segment that I'm really excited about that I can't talk about. So I'm super excited about Tyler Soderstrom. Awesome. Jacob Wilson. We had Tony Gwynn Jr. on yesterday and talking about his father. And what I say with Tony Gwynn Jr., I said, man, this kid's like every day. It's like he gets 2 hits. It's like he gets 2 hits every day. What did he do yesterday?
2 hits.
2 hits. Flipped one into right field, pulled one into left field. He's now hitting .354 across an 18-game on base streak dating back to last year. He's hitting all 12 games this season, or 11 games. How many games did we played? 11.
Yeah, we played 11. Yeah,
right?
It's 12 going back to last year.
Yeah, so he's got an 11-game hitting streak to start the year. Phenomenal. He's so refreshing to watch. This kid is special. Can't say it enough. It's like every night I can't wait. These 2 kids, then you throw in Lawrence Butler. These kids are showing you what the future of A's baseball is. Okay, that's all the warm and fuzzy. Now I'm going to give you the non-warm and fuzzy.
The worry.
Hope and worry. We sell hope and worry here on A's Cast Live. So I give you a ton of hope because our kids are good. These kids are here well into Vegas. I mean, that's the thing. It's like these kids they're going to be here a long time. And with everybody re-upping, and that's one of the trends in baseball now is, hey, let's sign our players now. And the players wanting to re-sign, it's very minimal. You're seeing guys, a Juan Soto say, nope, I'm going to free agency. Very minimal. When's the last time other than him, Manny Machado, who's here? Harper. But those deals, God, those guys have now – Harper and Machado have been in San Diego and Philadelphia. It's like 7-8 years now.
Machado's already re-signed another deal with the Padres since then.
So it's like
– or re-upped, same thing.
How many guys now with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. signing the extension? How many guys – hey, Bregman went to free agency. I don't think that really went the way he thought it was going to go. So, I mean, you start to look at it. We're sending a trend of more guys don't want to go to free agency. They like where they are. Jackson Merrill with the Padres just signed for like $170, and he said, could I get more money later? I don't, maybe, but I like where I am now. I mean, you saw Lawrence Butler say, this is home for me. I love this place. Brent Rooker said the same thing. I think at some point you're going to see Tyler Soderstrom keeps doing this because these are your guys. You drafted them in the first round. This is what you projected them to be. So I see an extension that comes for Wilson, that comes for, now that Butler's done, that comes for Soderstrom, eventually Nick Kurtz and the crew. So that's great. Bad news. You've been outscored in the first 2 innings in this ballpark, 4 games, 14-2. That is a major, major problem. first 2 innings, especially the first inning, but you have to throw in one of the Cubs games, the second inning they scored 2. So that's how I made the first 2. The first 2 innings, you've been outscored 14-2. You are playing from behind right out of the gate, and that has to stop.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned this. You mentioned it yesterday on Ace Cast on NBC Sports California last night for postgame. And as you're talking about, I went and looked it up, and then you threw it out there, and I was like, all right, I'll look. And then I looked up ours.
I didn't have the numbers in front of me. I just had my scorebook, and I'm looking through. I'm looking through the pages, and I'm going, bro, we're getting outscored. I'm going, Johnny here, bro. We're getting outscored
speaking of
a ton. This is unacceptable. You can't get outscored 14-2 in the first 2 innings. That's literally unacceptable. Let's pause for station identification right here on A's Cast.
I know.
Did I make myself clear? It's unacceptable.
Yes, you did. I know. I'm looking around for you, too, because I think batting practice is wrapping up.
Batting practice is ending. Johnny Doskow's here. We're going to have Hot Take Tuesdays and a Hot Take Tuesday, and we're going to have the Noah Murdock, the big right-hander, all coming up next right here on A's Cast Live.
Get your group together and check out all our great hospitality spaces for bonding opportunities, events, or a fun outing of your friends and family. There are 20, 50, and 100-person indoor suites available for select games, as well as an 80-person open-air area with a shaded cover. Secure your group today at athletics.com/hospitality. Lawrence Butler joined Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live to express his gratitude to the A's after securing his 7-year contract extension.
I mean, it's a surreal feeling. I mean, like you said, I love this organization. You know, they were the only organization that took a chance on me out of high school, you know, in the draft. And, you know, I thank them solely for that. And, you know, I'm just thankful and I'm just grateful, you know, humble to be, you know, chosen to, you know, be able to have this opportunity. And, you know, I wouldn't want it with any other organization than the A's because, you know, they've showed me love since day one. And, you know, I've loved them, you know, 100% back. And, you know, it's just been a mutual thing that, you know, me and the A's have, you know, grown to become, you know, a great relationship with everybody in the organization from top to bottom.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast. For just $25, fans can sit in the general admission outfield grass for all regular season home games. Tickets for that day's game will open up daily at 9 a.m. for purchase at athletics.com/lawn. Sign up to receive A's alerts to receive a text the first morning of each home series as a reminder. For more information, visit athletics.com/lawn. A's first baseman Tyler Soderstrom was on A's Cast Live with Chris Townsend and discussed his ability to play multiple positions if asked to.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, I feel like with anything, you got to go out and get the reps and kind of learn the position. Every position has kind of a learning step. But, yeah, I mean, I definitely have the athleticism, I feel like, to play anywhere on the field. I mean, I feel like shortstop in the bigs would be a little bit of a stretch, but maybe, I mean, I could.
You can play third? Could you play third base?
Yeah, I mean, I could play third, play first, corner, outfield spot. I mean, I would feel really comfortable in any of those situations. I mean, obviously, you'd have to put some time in and kind of, like I said, learn the position and what it entails. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like my athleticism really carry me anywhere I need to go.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
A's Cast Live continues from West Sacramento. Here's Chris Townsend.
All right, we're in a holding pattern here.
We're waiting for the 6'8" righty.
I'm just telling you this. Johnny Doskow, I'm going to blow his mind with my hot take. I don't think he's ready. I hope you guys are all ready for a flamethrower take to start the year for me. I'm coming out hot. I'm coming out like fire Cheetos hot. That's how hot I'm coming out.
All right. Well, I'm waiting. Should we just do Johnny
and hope
and pray? Because the players are off the field, so I'm worried that we're going to bring Johnny on and they're going to Murdock's going to be walked over.
Who do we have at 5:30?
We're going to play emo then.
Okay.
I know I don't want to keep Johnny. I know he's got a lot of plans.
Hey, it'd be funny is bring on Murdock and have him do a hot take. Give me a hot take. Give me a hot take, sports hot take.
Oh boy.
Can you imagine PR? What? Well, it's 5 o'clock. We either got to go, Johnny, or we don't.
Let's do it. Johnny, come on.
Well, hey, you guys can look around the corner. Can you see him? You're going to see him coming. So stand there and look and give us a heads up if he's coming. You got an open ready?
Yeah, Michael, do you have the open?
Are we standing for this? Okay.
Well, yeah, because Johnny doesn't have a seat.
Oh, wow.
Every once in a while, you hear a really good sports hot take.
I don't think we're seeing Juan Soto for 5-6 guys. I'm predicting we will not see one blazing hot big trade.
Paul Skeens will pitch in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game this season.
There'll be 11 home runs at least in the next this 3-game series. That's a lot of home runs for a 3-game series.
Then you hear some really bad hot takes.
The St. Louis Cardinals are going to win the NL Central. Book it.
Brent Rooker will win the 2024 Home Run Derby.
Angel Hernandez retiring is bad for baseball.
Well, on A's Cast Live, all takes are hot takes. It's time for Hot Takes Tuesday with Chris Townsend, only on A's Cast Live.
Oh, God. Hi, Johnny. Can we get Johnny's mic on, too? It's kind of how it works. Got to turn them on. I don't know. It's still not on. It's still not on. Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? Here's John. Here's the pitch. Go, Johnny. Are you there?
That's one, too.
There you go. You're on.
Right. Hey, by the way, Towny.
You like the set?
I love the set.
You
It's
do?
incredible. Yeah, it's nice. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
You guys, look at this.
This is your ballpark.
Yeah, I love this place. Love this place. What do you think?
I love it.
Good.
But you want a little story?
Yeah.
Oh, Noah's here. You know what? Hang tight. We'll have Noah on.
absolutely.
We'll be
No,
right
of
back.
course. Yep.
We'll be right back. Johnny, we'll be right back. Noah, come on up. Noah Murdock is joining us. We'll get right back to Hot Take Tuesdays. Hot Take Tuesdays. The big right-hander is here. You know, you just missed. We do Hot Take Tuesdays where it's a hot take. I'm not going to ask you for a hot take. By the way, I'm Chris Townsend. Nice to meet you. Do we have him on?
We're good?
Yeah, we are good. Well, welcome to A's Cast Live.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
I got to tell you, it's been a great start for you. Just as someone who's come over to a new organization, this has been really good for you. Just talk about just how this experience with the green and gold has been.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Even from the day that I heard my name in the draft, the Rule 5 draft, getting a chance with a new opportunity with a new team that believes in me. It says a lot about the team. And then to come in here and play well to kind of to start the season and learn from a lot of these guys, it's been great. It's been a great new experience.
The psychology of being a Rule 5 pick, and the A's have been known. We've had some of the best Rule 5 picks. Your teammate Mitch Spence, Mark Canha from years ago. So take us through it. You're with another organization. They drafted you. They've raised you. Now all of a sudden in this random draft, you're sitting at home and you've heard the Athletics have selected you. And you know when you come here, if you're going to make the team, you're going to be on the big club. Super exciting, but yet new manager, new front office, new coaches, new teammates, a little scary. Yeah. What's it been like?
It's a lot of pressure, especially in the spring coming in, not knowing anybody, not knowing what everything's about. It's definitely a little scary at first. One of the first guys I met was Mitch Spence. So having him as a resource to tell me his experience, what he went through, that was super helpful for me. But going throughout the spring, I mean, I've had somebody tell me one of the most normal things about this whole experience is the baseball part. So when it's time to pitch and get out on the field, that's when I'm more comfortable. So getting out there for the spring, meeting the guys, getting my feet on the ground. I mean, that once I did that, everything settled in.
You did exactly what Mitch Spence did. And I remember after Mitch Spence's first outing last year in spring training, it's that odd where the media can come down and talk to you actually during the game. And Mitch Spence said, I'm going to make the front office have a tough decision. And he did that, and he made the club. You did the exact same thing. Was it that mentality like, I'm here to make this club, and I'm going to make it hard on them?
Oh, yeah. I mean, going out there and competing right away and getting a chance to earn a spot on the team, I mean, that was your thought before even getting to spring. So getting in there, having that first game under your belt, or even the first bullpen, getting more comfortable in the setting with everybody around. Once that's over with, everything's just smooth. It's baseball like normal. And then once that part was over and we got to the season felt a lot better. I thought there was a lot more pressure in spring to make the team. And now that I'm here, it's been a lot better.
That's interesting, right? Yeah, because to make the team, that's the toughest part. Now you're here and you've flourished so far. What do you think has cleared your head and made it, obviously, maybe less pressure, whatever it is, you've thrown the ball great, and you've looked like you can handle any situation?
I think the funniest part is heading out of spring, I met with Katse, and he told me he made the team, and one of the things he told me was, we're going to find an opportunity for you to get your feet wet in a game where, it's not so high leverage. And we got to the debut game, and it was a close one, and I think I came in with some runners on base, so not having that get your feet wet outing and getting right into the fire honestly helped me the most, because now I'm used to the situation, being in the game where there's runners on base and we're trying to fight for a win. So getting that first game under my belt of like, you're in there. This is a big league game. You got to go out there and be your best. Once I handled that well, I think everything from here on has just been a lot easier.
And then Colorado in game one, it's snowing. You're going multiple innings.
Right.
You had to get – I mean, if you don't pitch well, the game the team is going to lose. Just what was that experience like?
That was incredible. I think pitching in the snow, for one, is something I think a lot of people can't say they've done.
Have you never done it before?
I don't think so. Wow. I don't even know if I've been to a game as a spectator where it snowed. So having that experience obviously was incredible. But going out there, everything, like I said, it's pretty normal. Once you're out there and you're pitching, it's just pitching like normal. There was a point where I had to call time because I felt a snowflake hit my finger before I came set, so I had to step off for that. But other than that, I mean, just going out there and competing, and the guys are playing hard. It's always fun getting in there with a close game.
The first time I saw you pitch, to me, you don't look 6'8". You look really athletic, right? A lot of 6'8" guys don't. You look really athletic. Did you play other sports? Because you don't, when you pitch, you're so athletic, you look more like you're 6'4".
Yeah.
You're 6'8", and I was so impressed by that.
Yeah, one of the fun facts I had to give the team was that I was the Virginia State Player of the Year in volleyball back in high school. So volleyball was might have been my better sport in high school, honestly, but there wasn't as big of a future as baseball. So went the baseball route, and I think it's worked out pretty good.
No doubt. State player?
State Player of the Year. Yep.
Wow.
So, and we won the championship that year in the high school. So it was a good year.
And there is something to pitching to when you are taller if you know how to utilize your size, that can be a big advantage to you.
Yeah, it's an advantage and a disadvantage. I've talked with Scott Emerson, our pitching coach, a lot. Mechanically, timing can be an issue for bigger guys, and he's a bigger guy as well. So leaning on him as a resource to make sure that every day I'm working on something to control my mechanics and get out there and pound the zone. He's told me if your stuff's going to play in the zone. So if you work on your mechanics, get everything under control, pound the zone, you'll give yourself a chance. And we've seen that so far.
Yeah, we see a lot of shorter guys do the more drop and drive, really using their legs for the power. Mm-hmm. But when you're a taller guy, you already have that. It's more of the control fall.
For sure. A lot of legs, a lot of arms moving around, a lot of swinging parts. So I found the more that I can control that, the better I've pitched.
All right, the story about your wife wanting to be there in Seattle, she was under the weather. Tell us about that story, because I know how much that meant to her.
Yeah, the first 2 days go by, and, we're anxiously awaiting. We don't know when the debut is going to be, and she was fine. Everything was fine. I think we had the normal anxiety, stomach, kind of not feeling good feelings, and then it got to that day 3 where I ended up throwing, and I actually didn't know this because I was sleeping really well, and I hate to admit that to her, but she was up throwing up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. I didn't hear anything, so I just slept like a baby, but I woke up and she was like, I'm not feeling well. You might need to reach out to your trainers and have them bring me something. I don't know what's going on. And, I mean, she was in bed probably till that family bus left for the field, and I felt so bad. And I get to the field just making sure she's there. Everybody's, taking care of her at that point. And I'm out there at the bullpen, and there's a little rail where fans can kind of lean over and, interact with you a little bit. And I go back there, and she is on the ground under the stairwell, sitting because she can't be on her feet. I mean, her legs aren't even under her. And when I end up warming up to go in the game, she mustered the strength to get up, and she got a good little video of me running out onto the field. And she wasn't going to miss it, though. I mean, she's a baseball fan at heart, and she helps me with a lot of my baseball stuff in the off season. So to have that moment where she's not feeling her best, but she's still there supporting me was super special.
She loves you.
Yeah, she
and
does.
The journey, like what people don't understand, we think of you guys as just as a single entity, but when you make it to the big leagues, it's wife, parents, brothers and sisters, coaches, teachers. There's so many people that have helped you get to this point.
Yeah. I mean, checking my phone after that first game, you saw the support. I mean, everybody from high school, college, family that sometimes you haven't heard from them in a while are coming and being like, hey, we watched the game, we support you. So having everybody included on that day, even if they weren't there, was just so special to me.
What is the big league moment where all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, my entire life I waited for this, and it's here, and I'm in the big leagues? It can be something simple. It can be something big. What was the moment where you went, wow, I made it?
I know exactly what it is. Being in that game in Seattle and J.P. Crawford coming to the plate and hearing all the fans chant J.P. from the scoreboard telling them, hearing that crowd rally behind that home team and being the one guy on the mound that has to stop the momentum of that inning, that was pretty incredible. You know, not stepping foot on the mound yet and taking in that moment and realizing this is serious. You know, this is a big situation. And then end up getting that strikeout out of him for my first strikeout. I couldn't have wrote up a better debut experience for myself, both on the field and then seeing my family at the end on the field and taking pictures with them. The whole day I would call perfect.
Well, let's end on this. When you throw the ball well out of the bullpen, you keep getting more responsibility. Do you feel like that more responsibility from the way you've started to where you are now, you're going to even get more high leverage innings?
That's what I hope for. I really do. I going out there every time and pitching my best that they can rely on me in any situation, I think it's certainly what I want. I think it's what they want. Everybody in the bullpen wants to be in those spots. So I'm going to keep going out there, and I don't care if it's a 10-run lead or if it's a 1-run lead. I want to make sure that I'm the same guy every time out.
It's a great story. Nice to meet you.
Thank
and
you.
Keep getting people out and keep coming on the show. You're a fantastic guest already.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Noah Murdock right here on A's Cast Live. So appreciate it. You're done. You're good.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're good. And, another big arm for the Athletics coming out of the bullpen, which is huge because, you think of you got to find every single way that you possibly can. And by the way, give some credit to Mark Ling, the great Mark Ling. You got to find every single way that you can get the ball to Mason Miller, and that's a big deal. And my God, the games that he's come in, we'll stand back up here. The games he's come in and how good he has been so far has been something really, really special. Cody, plug me in a little more. I've lost my ability to hear here.
Wasn't that snow something else? Pitching in the snow like that whole game? It was so crazy. Wow.
I have not done anything in the snow except ski and drink.
Right.
Back in the day.
You're right.
Snow, playing baseball in the
It was
snow.
crazy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Not at all. All right. Hot Take Tuesday. Are we ready for the
We're
first
ready.
edition?
Who's going to start?
Who's leading it off?
I think he's going to lead off.
All right. I guess I'll go first here. Usually I defend this team every year we do hot takes. You guys always want to bury them early. But right now, I think it's time we bury the Houston Astros.
Wow. What?
We're 11 games in. Wow.
The pitching isn't doing it, and the offense is not carrying the weight.
11 games in.
If you take Jose Altuve out of the lineup, they're hitting 172, Johnny. 172.
Pretty small sample size.
How's Kyle Tucker doing?
They've scored 3 runs.
How's Alex Bregman doing?
They've scored 3 runs or less in 8 of the last 10 games. Not good. This is the end, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I defend the Astros every year. On this
you
program.
were in Jeffrey Lunau's pocket for years.
I was
you read his book.
I was a mark,
or
as
the
they
book.
say when it comes to the Astros.
Oh my God!
This is the end of the Astros.
You were an Astros P1 back in the day.
So when you say end of the Astros, you mean no playoffs, under 500? Like how?
No playoffs.
No playoffs. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying they could finish at 500, but they're not going to be in the playoffs.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the end of the Astros run in the postseason.
Wow.
It's a pretty hot take.
That is a real hot take.
Yeah.
And he just walks off.
Wow. That's a walk-off
pretty much.
take,
That's what I'm doing, yes.
Good for him.
Are we having audio difficulties?
No, I'm just making sure that
Do I sound okay? Because I sound like I'm hollow.
Talk now.
Hello, a little more. Hello.
I mean, you're coming through, so that's
because
good.
when I get up and it moves our cords. All right, Johnny.
All right, listen.
My hot take's a big hot take, so I think I
Save it for
can go
for sure.
last.
Okay, here's my hot take. And I know last year you and I had a conversation or kind of an argument about Luis Arraez. I remember that. You and I talked about it, and that's for another time.
Wait, you didn't like him?
No, I like him. I like him a lot.
I mean, I love him.
Here's my hot take. Luis Arraez has won 3 straight batting titles with 3 different clubs.
Correct.
Right? Luis Arraez is hitting, 270 now. He still hasn't struck out yet. My hot take is not only will Luis Arraez hit 300 this year, he's going to win a 4th consecutive batting title, and he's going to strike out less than 20 times during the season. But he will win a 4th consecutive batting title, Luis Arraez. You may say, is that a hot take? He's won 3 in a row. It's a hot take. It's hard to win 4 in a row. What? Cobb, Hornsby, not Carew. Not too many have done it, right? So I'm saying that Luis Arraez is going to win a 4th consecutive batting title this year. That's my hot take.
But strike out only 20 times.
Now that's what makes it hot.
He's going to strike. No, you said less than 20
Yes,
times.
I do.
So that means 19 or less.
19 or less.
Yep. He doesn't strike out a lot as it is.
I know.
But that's
yes.
I mean, it took
that's Joe Sewell type stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it took until Jacob Wilson struck out twice in Colorado, and we thought he was going to surpass Arraez. But Arraez, right? He hasn't struck out this year, right? Still isn't.
Yeah, still
50
struck out
something.
this year. Yeah, maybe June. Who knows, right? Yeah. So that's my hot take.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you got? I'm ready for this. What do you got?
Okay. I'm so tired of you guys are all chalk. I stand here right now.
You burying the Brewers again?
With a man. No, I'm not. I will bury the Brewers later. I'm going to bury. You know what? I'm going after the big dog. You guys just sit here and you want to live in your Dodger world. You guys want to. You're like Joe Davis Jr. You Vin Scully hack. I am so over the Dodger dog. I'm here with a lifelong Dodger fan. Well, I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it.
What do you got?
The deferred money, the Towny. I'm over Dodger Blue and Farmer John. I'm saying right here today, I was forced to watch Giants baseball over the weekend because when you work over at NBC, you have to watch the Giants are on. I had to watch it.
Right.
Giants are better than you think. Padres are out here, you're seeing, are better than you think. My Snakes, my Arizona Diamondbacks are better than you think.
What do you got?
Bud Black, good luck. They've won this division 11 out of 12 years, right? They've dominated. The only time they didn't was when the Giants won 107. They won 106. Yeah. Hot take right now, you can take all that deferred money. You can take all that stardom. You can take the Guggenheims and Magic Johnson and all that. The Dodgers, I'm going the field in the NL West. The Dodgers will not guaranteed book it win the National League West this year.
I can't wait to play that back.
They are going to falter. They have lost. They're losing again today. They've lost, 4 out of 5, and they're losing again today to the Nationals. It's not going to go. It's hard to repeat. We haven't had a repeat winner in the National League since the Big Red Machine. It's a lot harder than you think. I am anti-Dodger Blue. I'm sinking the Dodgers ship today. It's April 8th, and the Dodgers are a wild card team at best.
And I see your partner getting hot. He is getting hot right now.
You take Steve Sachs and his World Series rings. Yeah, uh-huh.
All right.
I said it.
Wow.
Right here on April 8th, Dodger Blues done in the National League West.
Yeah, he said Dodgers will not win the West.
Wild card at best. They're going to be battling for a wild card. You heard it here.
Wow.
I honestly thought earlier after reading the notes and saw the stuff with the Padres, I was like, you know what? Saying that, listening to MLB Network Radio this morning, I was like, you know what? The Dodgers are struggling. Maybe I should say the Dodgers won't. He beat me to it.
That's a blazing.
So I took the Astros, not winning the
Towny. That is a blazing.
Do you want me to go to the notes? They're not as good as you think. Like
through 11 games.
Like they've got all these pitchers, but none of them ever stay healthy.
Blake Snell's hurt.
It's going to catch up. Yeah, Blake Snell is already on the IL. When's Kershaw coming back?
They have some depth, man. They got some depth.
I'm trying to get to the notes.
You know, the Tommy John guys that are coming back?
Yeah, all the other Tommy guys. Oh, by the way, you want to know something that was really sad today as I was listening on the great Tom Hamilton, the man who loves you now, Ford C. Frick Award winner. He went over to, it was early part of the game, he was talking about our good friend Sandy Alomar Jr. No one exemplifies Guardians or Indians baseball like the great Sandy Alomar Jr., I thought. But he started going over the list of all the guys from Bieber all the way down in their organization that are battling back from Tommy John surgery. The list, he just read off the list. It was like a list of human beings.
Wow.
And I'm like, that is scary. Dodgers have dropped 3 of 4. Make that, did they finally lose today? Is that official? I know you laugh.
They're down 8-1 in the top of the 6th.
They're going to have dropped 4 of 5. They can't beat the Nationals. April 8th, Dodger Blue is done in the National League West. I'm not saying who's going to win other than the Dodgers.
You're taking the field.
It's like the old days. Do you take Tiger Woods or you take the other 120-some guys? I'm not taking Tiger. I'm taking the other guys.
It's a blazing hot take. I respect it. I do. I don't agree with it.
Just like Tiger, next Elon came out with the golf club, hit the back of the car, he went into the wreck, and he never was the same. That's what's going to happen to the Dodgers.
Every time I hear that, I think of the old drop from the radio station. Hey, it's Tiger.
Hey, it's Tiger.
I need you to do a huge
I respect it. It's blazing hot. It's blazing hot.
I don't know if it's the D-backs. I don't know if it's Padres. I don't know if it's the Giants. It's not going to be.
You know what's so blazing hot about that take is it's April 8th. That's the great thing, right?
And think about this too. We do know how much they have not performed in the postseason. I mean, I've got all these years, so to see them going as a wild card and not be a home favorite would be interesting. Let's test that depth.
You're going to be watching every night, rooting against them every night.
I'm honestly.
You may be rooting for the Giants against the Dodgers.
No, that's going to be that's
going too far.
That's
John.
the old root for injuries. Right. You don't like either team, you root for injury. That's a joke.
I will say I am very proud of Johnny's take. I thought he was going to come down here and go, bro, the A's are going to win a game this week. I thought that was going to be your hot take.
No,
I'm still waiting for Rafael to break out for the Red Sox, win the MVP. So that one's never going to go. I mean, you give us a 5-year hot take.
Yeah. All right. So what is the hot take number 1 for you?
Astros are done.
Wow. I mean, I just said they're not going to win the West. He's saying these guys are done.
Hot take
April
right
8th, Houston done.
That is pretty blazing.
As an organization. Are you calling rebuild?
No rebuild. Just retool.
They can strip it down again?
Well, no, I don't think Dana Brown's the guy to do that.
Hey, this is Hot Take Tuesday, bro.
And
better bring it.
A 4th straight batting title, strikes out less than 20 times.
Okay, the 4th straight batting title is not so hot. The strikeout less than 20 that's pretty blazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Who's the last guy to have 600 at-bats and not strike out at least 20 times?
That's a great call. Probably Joe Sewell of the old Cleveland Indians back in the day. He struck out like 154 times in his career.
I mean, because the one guy I think in modern-day baseball who was the king, there's 2 guys that you look at that just never struck out. It was Joe DiMaggio and Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, Gwynn was incredible.
And I'm going to go to Tony Gwynn's stats here, but I don't think even Gwynn ever did. So you're trying to say he's about to do something that Mr. Padre never did.
Luis Arraez last year only struck out 29 times in 637 at-bats.
Look at his career.
Yeah, he struck out
more walks than strikeouts.
Yeah, 194 strikeouts, 198 walks.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, Gwynn one time in 498 plate appearances only struck out 17 times.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
534 plate appearances. He struck out only 19. So
wow,
it is possible.
Gwynn territory, yeah.
He's in Gwynn territory.
It is.
Gwynn won 8 batting titles. You're saying this will be his 4th. All right, That's a hot take. And, of course, mine, the Dodgers as the champs of the NL West and running the NL West in. I'm saying it on April 8th. It's over.
You're going to say that next to Stephen Lewis
Take
Sachs. Stephen Lewis
field.
Sachs is going to sit right here, and you're going to say that right to him.
Steve Sachs right now is an A's broadcaster, and that's all I know. Take that Dodger blue stuff and stick it and go down I-5.
Wow.
Chavez Ravine this. Huh? You like that?
It's blazing. It's blazing hot.
Somebody has to take – because this whole offseason has been nothing. Dodgers this, the Dodgers have basically sucked the air out of baseball. Well, I'm calling it now. They go down, and they go down hard. Take all that money, Guggenheim and Magic and whoever else is there. Take that.
Isn't Peter Guber part of that group too? The guy, one of the owners of the Warriors, isn't he part of that group too?
Yeah. What does that have to do with it? You know, you're bringing Warriors into it?
Well, because as I see on the TV in front of us is Warriors Suns. By the way, Nate let us know in the studio, no Kevin Durant tonight.
Kevin Durant.
He doesn't like playing against the Warriors. He sits out of it.
How much money didn't the Suns spend a ton of money this offseason?
Well, no, just overall, they're paying him, they're paying Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, and it just isn't working out.
So,
as we talk basketball, as we do on this program.
So
Johnny,
Kevin Durant's not going to play against the Warriors tonight? He doesn't want to stick it to the Warriors?
He barely plays good. I think he's only played like a few games against the Warriors since he left.
How's everything going for you, by the way?
Going great. Having a ball. Yeah, it's wild to be back here. It's kind of surreal to be back at this ballpark after all these years, right?
Well, it's you weren't gone. You didn't leave here long enough, so everybody that is working here was working here when you were here.
Yeah,
it's like everybody.
It's like a reunion, but just being here through all those years, being here since 2001 and walking out, it's really cool. It's really cool.
What is it like coming here now as a big leaguer?
Pretty cool.
I mean, you big league me all the time, but what's it like being a big leaguer here?
You know that's not true. It's great, man. It's great. And just to watch big league baseball at this ballpark, you know, the Padres come to town, right? And just to see our guys, see Rooker and Butler and Blade and Langoliers hit at this ballpark. Look, people talk about how the ballpark's playing. We don't really know. I mean, ballpark's playing pretty small right now, but we don't know.
You keep hanging the balls they're hanging. It doesn't matter what ballpark you play in.
Right.
I mean, that Tatis. Tony Gwynn Jr. was here yesterday. So Tony Gwynn Jr. he played here years ago. I don't know who he was with at the time. Would he been the Padres?
Nashville. He was with Nashville when you mean in Triple A?
In AAA when he played here.
Nashville.
Who was that? Was that the Padres?
It was
the Brewers.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So he said Park looks a lot different. Let me tell you this. Last night in my hotel, there was a huge group of Padre fans. I want to say like 12-ish, and they saw that the A's gear on, and we started talking. All these Padre fans, they came up for the series. They all loved it. They loved the experience.
Had a good time? Good.
Yeah.
That's great. No, it's with the video board, and we talk about the clubhouse and just the batter's eye.
This place means a lot to you, man.
It does. It's
home.
It's in my heart, man. I raised my kid at this ballpark, right?
Your daughter did the national anthem here.
Yes, 7 times.
7 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Thanks,
I'm very
appreciate it.
I'm proud for you, man, because all
bro.
the time you put in, then you got to the big leagues, and now you get to come back, and you come back as a big leaguer. It's a massive deal.
Thank you, buddy.
And we're here 2 more years after this, and it's just going to get better.
It is.
All right,
you, brother. Good to see you, man.
Have a good call
Thanks,
tonight.
bro.
All right, coming up, we're going to go. Oh, we go into the lab. The pitching doctor, Dr. Emo, the pitching coach for the Athletics. Next, Scott Emerson on A's Cast Live.
Get your group together and check out all our great hospitality spaces for bonding opportunities, events, or a fun outing of your friends and family. There are 20, 50, and 100-person indoor suites available for select games, as well as an 80-person open-air area with a shaded cover. Secure your group today at athletics.com/hospitality.
The A's YouTube page is your go-to destination for A's video content. Get access to great highlights, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, classic games, A's Cast Live, and more. Visit youtube.com/athletics.
A's lefty J.P. Sears joined Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live in Mesa to discuss his ability to take the ball every 5 days.
I think that's one of the main things you try and do as a starting pitcher is your availability, and it kind of comes with having a good routine and sticking with the routine and kind of learning what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So I've been proud of being able to do that the past couple of years, and looking to do that again this year. But obviously there's always things we want to get better at, and ways I feel like I can help this team out a lot more than I have in the past. And so I've done a pretty good job, I feel like, of getting a lot of quantity, a lot of a lot of innings the last couple of years, but just want to sharpen up those outings that you're talking about. The rough ones are the ones that kind of can go either way. Those are really the big season definers there and team definers.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Looking to stay up to date on all things A's? Head over to athletics.com/A'sCast. That's athletics.com/A'sCast to listen to A's baseball in full 24/7 coverage of the A's, only on A's Cast. With a single click, you can stream great shows, live pre- and post-game coverage, and of course, all the great action of the A's this season. Head to athletics.com/A'sCast today.
A's closer Mason Miller joined Chris Townsend on A's Cast Live ahead of opening day to discuss the thrill of closing out games for the Athletics.
You always like that juice. I mean, in college, you'd have to go complete games, starter to get to it. But, there's nothing that beats that feeling of getting the final out of the game, high-fiving all your teammates and getting into the locker room with a win. So, I've liked the big moment. I've liked it. I think I've been able to keep it pretty even head about it, though, and I think that helps me have more success in that role, that I don't get too high or too low. I just know that if I get 3 outs, I got the job done. It doesn't have to be pretty. I don't have to be perfect, but it's you either got it done or you didn't, and I think there's something liberating in that.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.
Streaming from West Sacramento, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
All right. Everybody knows, you hear him on our post-game show. He's a very dear friend of mine. He's part of the A's family. The great Road Trip Mike is on a mission to get Bert Campaneris' number retired, number 19. And so he's trying to make it happen as we speak. And he sent me a list because, Bert came, he was before Oakland. He was in Kansas City. And Bert Campaneris was older than the crew that we think about. When you think of Reggie and Bando and those guys, Bert was a little bit older. Last time we saw him, he's doing great. I wanted to look here. I wanted to get it right. He's 83 years old. He just turned 83. He looks phenomenal.
Yeah, because we used to always see him at the ballpark. He was there for all the anniversaries, and he's 83. Wow,
83. Yeah, so he was older.
Well, yeah, because him and Dick Green were like the elder statesmen.
Yeah, Dick Green's teams, right? 81, 80, something like that. I mean, they were older than our guy Ray Fosse and Catfish, and
Dick Green's also 83.
I mean, and Dick Green looks great.
Yeah, we've seen him numerous times.
Yeah,
in the ballpark. We've talked to him.
Super nice guy,
yeah.
But. So when you think of Bert Campaneris, obviously he's in the A's Hall of Fame. He is a 3-time World Series champion, 6-time All-Star, 6-time AL stolen base leader. He wore number 19. Road Trip wants to get his number retired. So when the team was in Oakland, this is what Bert Campaneris led the A's in. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Games played, at-bats, plate appearances, hits, singles, defensive WAR. He was second in steals, only 2.
I figure can't be. Oh yeah.
Ricky Henderson.
I thought you were talking about that area. Yeah, that makes sense.
Runs scored, he was 3rd. Total bases, he was 4th. Time on base, he was 4th. Sacrifice flies, he was 4th. Runs created, he was 8th. And doubles, he was 10th.
All impressive.
Once again, and a 3-time World Series champion. He was an all-star in 68, 72, 73, 74, 75, 1977, and 6-time AL stolen base. The only time out of those 6 he wasn't in Oakland, he was in Kansas City. Well, actually, he did it in scratch that. He did it in Kansas City 65, 66, and 67. So 3 out of the 6 he was in Kansas City. But either way, that's how we look at our histories: Philadelphia, Kansas City, Oakland, and now we'll look at it in Las Vegas. And Sacramento will count too, obviously. Bert Campaneris, I think Road Trip Mike has a legitimate beef why we haven't retired this guy's number. Pretty incredible.
Yeah, after going through those numbers, and he's a guy that was a big part of the organization's history. And the last number we retired was Dave Stewart. So I'm sure there's going to be another number coming up that we're going to want to retire.
As great as Dave Stewart was and still means to this organization, Campy was the shortstop for a team that won 3 straight World Series.
Yeah.
A premier position.
And
on a team that was built on pitching and defense, too.
And back then, he was stealing bases. I mean, if you just go through and look at his stolen base numbers, like, what was it, 51, 52, 55, 62, 62, 42, 34, 52.
Big numbers.
And these were starting in Kansas City, then coming to Oakland. I mean, even when he's age 34, 1976, he sold 54 bags. I mean, it's Ricky Henderson territory back in the day, in that era when stolen bases were big, but Ricky kind of took it to a whole nother level, and he's still over 100 bags multiple times.
So we have Raleigh and Stu both won number 34. You got Eck, because it used to be Hall of Famers, but it's now once you put Dave Stewart in. I mean, how do you? I understand it, right? I understand Bert Campaneris, and then if I'm going to join Road Trip Mike, I will always fight for this one. I think number 6 should be retired for the great Sal Bando and Bob Melvin.
Yeah.
Bob Melvin wore 6 in honor of Sal Bando. Bob Melvin is the winningest manager in A's history. And I don't know if we will, in our lifetime, see somebody win more games than Bob Melvin. I know Bob Melvin didn't win a championship, but he was the American League Manager of the Year. I don't know in our lifetime if we will see somebody win as many games as Bob Melvin as a manager for the Athletics. As this team goes forward, it will take a long, long, long time.
Yeah, and he was the winningest manager in the franchise history after Philadelphia. No one's passing Connie Mack.
Yeah, we're talking more than Tony La Russa.
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't think anyone's going to pass Melvin.
So I think we could go Bert Campaneris. So that's for you. Road Trip, you have our blessing here on A's Cast Live. I agree. And then I also think Sal Bando was the captain of a team that won 3 straight World Series titles. It's one of the greatest teams in the history of baseball. Sal Bando's number 6, and we can combine it with Bob Melvin, who, you know how much we love Bob Melvin and my relationship with Bo Mel. Retire number 6, and that could be just like we did for Raleigh and Stu. You could do it for Captain Sal and Bob Melvin. I think that would be great, because if you don't know the story, a big part of Bob Melvin's career after baseball started with Sal Bando in Milwaukee. He brought him, kind of really got Bob going in baseball after his playing days. So Sal Bando meant the world to Bob Melvin.
Yeah, it's great, and I love when Bob would talk about it. If I'm thinking of a player, just anyone in our history that you can consider, other than Campy and Captain Sal, I mean, do you consider McGuire?
He's got the most home runs.
Yeah. And number 25.
Won a World Series. Won a Gold Glove.
Yeah. No offense to Brent Rooker wearing number 25, but I think of Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
I think he'd be one. You can even think Canseco possibly too.
People from my era love Jose Canseco. He was the best player in baseball. He was the biggest star in baseball. When I was in high school, Jose Canseco was the biggest star in baseball. Loved Jose Canseco, and I've been blessed. We just had Jose Canseco on when we were in Vegas. I've done a lot over the years with Jose Canseco. I get the off the field stuff is always going to be there, but I'll be in Jose Canseco's camp. If you want to retire it, I'm all in. But I just don't think that's going to happen. But
yeah, and I was thinking, like, who wears number 33 now? JJ Bleday's number 33 for the A's. But yeah, I would say
don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, Canseco's
in the Hall of Fame, rightfully so. And just to let you know, he was always such a high vote getter. Took time for people to, and I'm not part of that process, so I don't want to speak out of line, but I think it just took time for people to be like, okay, it's time.
Yeah,
Jose Canseco is truly one of the great. He is as big as Ricky Henderson was, as big as Mark McGuire was, as big as Dave Stewart, as big as Dennis Eckersley. Nobody in that era of A's baseball was bigger than for the fans. Plus, he was the Rookie of the Year. He was MVP. He was the star of baseball. Nobody during that time was bigger than Jose Canseco.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Those would be the two guys I was thinking outside of the 70s teams you would look at. I would say McGuire and Canseco if we want to look at guys from the era after that. It would be the two. Because you can't really say, I don't know, no offense to the big three or Miguel Tejada, but they didn't have the careers with the Athletics that McGuire and Canseco did. I know Tejada won an MVP and Zito won a Cy Young.
What about the Giambino?
It's a good one.
MVP. But I don't think his career is worthy of retiring is.
No.
Nobody since those going to 3 straight World Series is an incredible feat. Even though you won 1, lost 2, that was still an incredible feat. But no one since that era, or you talk about the 70s teams, should anybody have their jersey retired.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't think anyone would really come down our road going, "Oh, wait a minute, Yoenis Cespedes." I mean, love Yo.
Do we need a David Feldman top 10 numbers that should be retired?
We haven't had a Feldman yet.
He's here. I've talked to him. I mean, that could be a good one.
Top 10 numbers that should be retired.
Yep.
That have not been.
Maybe next homestand we do.
And maybe we should go all-time A's.
Top 10. I'm going to write this down so I don't forget.
Like who? Like Captain Sal. We take care of Captain Sal. Back Bob Melvin would be from that.
Yeah, I'm going to put them together. Canseco,
as we said,
McGuire, Campy,
Sal Bando for sure, and that's and the Melvin to go with it. I mean, to me, that's like the biggest no-brainer. Guy was the captain of 3 straight World Series teams.
So yeah, it's interesting thing to run by Feldy. I'll bring it up to him.
Catfish Hunter.
Yeah. Well, isn't Catfish's number retired?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, 27.
Where is it?
It's down there.
Oh, is that where I'm missing?
Yeah, that's the very end. Yeah, Catfish is the other one.
Where was I seeing?
It's at the
there it is.
end.
There it is. Yeah. I got a poll in front of me. Yeah, because all the Hall of Famers were.
Yeah.
You've been in the Hall of Fame.
So yeah, I'm sure Feldy can make some.
And you were an A's player. It's not like you were here for a game like Willie McCovey, and that doesn't count. I think McCovey was here for 2 games, played in 2 games or something like that.
I mean, there's another number you can maybe consider because what he meant to the organization. If he wanted to retire, why not Ray Fosse's number?
No, face of the franchise.
What number was Fosse again? 9.
Fosse was 10.
He wore
10, right?
10, yeah, 10. So yeah, why not retire the number 10? Don't combine him and Tejada with what number? Tejada was.
Ray Fosse is one of the most instrumental human beings that's ever been a part of our organization.
Tejada was 4. So yeah, Tejada was 4.
But
Ray Fosse
said
yes.
Ray just not only being a 2-time World Series champion, but Ray bridged the gap of all the fan bases with television and radio and just being the great human being that he was. Ray Fosse's number should be retired based off being Ray Fosse and what he meant to this organization.
Yeah, not to mention he was the most appeared guest on this program by a mile.
Never had to ask him. No one supported A's Cast. When everybody thought we were crazy, people thought we were crazy with A's Cast Live. First of all, before you even showed up, they thought A's Cast, what I was doing was crazy. Then you showed up, we did A's Cast Live. Everybody thought we were crazy. The only person who went, I love this is incredible, was Ray Fosse.
Yeah, he just showed up whenever he wanted.
And you know what the best thing is the biggest, most powerful guy in the organization loved us the most.
Yeah.
So as long as Ray Fosse loved us, the hell with everybody else.
30 minutes every week. Ray Fosse would do it off-season, regular season, postseason. Didn't matter what was going on. Ray Fosse was here every week.
Ray would listen to us in the off-season. We would do the show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He listened to every show from Arizona at his home in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And he would text us during the show. Every show he'd text us. Yep. I love that, man.
We should get the emo now.
All right. Earlier today, it's Tuesday. We got to go in the lab with the pitching doctor. Earlier, we had the pitching coach of the Athletics right here at the ballpark in West Sacramento. To go in the lab with the pitching doctor, Scott Emerson, right here on A's Cast Live here in Sacramento. A beautiful day here in West Sacramento.
Oh, it's awesome. It's much better weather than we've encountered early in the season in Seattle, and here in playing the Cubs, and then Colorado playing in the snow was pretty interesting.
Yeah, watching snow flurries in Game 1, I know I sent you that piece that Freeland did with MLB Central on MLB Network about, not only pitching at elevation, things are different. Now you got snow flurries. Wow, that weekend, that was some interesting baseball.
Yeah, I was just impressed with Beto, being from the Dominican Republic. We were talking before the game, and he's like, Emo, it's really cold.
But he did pitch in Pittsburgh. So
yeah. But, I thought he went out and did a good job.
So tell us quickly, because there's other things I want to get to because that's now past this, but there is something different when Freeland talks about that you need to be different there than when you are at sea level. So basically, when you come off the mountain and you're pitching 29 other ballparks, That's got to be really hard for pitchers, pitching coaches, where you got to be different at home than versus what you are on the road.
Yeah, we're always using our data and checking in, and TrackMan's down in the bullpen before the game, and our guys are throwing some bullpens, and they realize that they got to lower their sights a little bit on their sinker. They got to make sure they start their ball out a little bit higher on their four-seam fastball. The horizontal movement is going to play a little bit different. So you're always looking into the data to see where you can gain an advantage. And definitely when you go to a different ballpark, you want to see how that trend is happening.
So far, what you have seen, we've now seen 4 games here. How do you feel this ballpark is playing? Because we've had warmer weather and we've had colder weather.
Yeah, when I was here in 11 and 12, you're thinking it's a pitcher's park for the Pacific Coast League, and then now you bring in the best hitters in the world, bigger, stronger, faster, and it's probably going to play a little bit more like a hitter's ballpark, and it's going to play like a hitter's ballpark for both sides. So
yes,
obviously we're going to have to adjust the way we're pitching in Oakland to the way we're going to pitch here in Sacramento, and it's fair for both sides, and that's just the way it is. So, it's a little fast on the infield and a little fast on the outfield grass. But like I said, that's just the way the ballpark is maintained, and it's been. And we just got to go out and just do our thing.
The one thing that we've noticed, that everybody's noticed in these 4 home games, is giving up early runs, which is just makes you always in comeback mode. You've been outscored 14-2 in the first 2 innings of these 4 games. Just what do you stress with your starting pitchers about going out and trying to get that goose egg and not putting up that crooked number early?
Yeah, it's not a catch-22, but you always hate to talk about it and then get it in their head. It's like the walk thing. You're talking to guys about, hey, we can't walk people. And they're like, yeah, let's write that down, Emo. No doubt that we don't want to do that.
Then they go out and walk people.
The first inning statistically is the worst inning for all starting pitchers throughout the league. So, we've incorporated some TrackMan in the bullpen before the games and just making sure your stuff is ready. Like, hey, let's get your stuff ready. If we got to throw a few extra pitches to make sure your stuff is ready for your outing, then we're going to have to do that. So it's understanding, what you're doing, where your stuff is at, and how you're taking it into the ball game.
Yeah, it's just really tough when you're in comeback mode. But that is the whole psychology also of sports, what you're talking about, right? It's like, sometimes better just not to talk about it. They understand it. They get it.
Yeah. It's like a trip out to the mound. I'm not going to go out to the mound and go, hey, you need to throw more strikes. I think they already know why. There's a reason why I'm out to the mound. You're either getting hit, because you're throwing too many strikes, or you go out, you know what I'm saying? So
throw strikes.
Hey, throw strikes. And they're like looking at you.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, really?
Yeah, thanks.
Another one. Let's write that one down. So, you're always talking in, hopefully in confidence. And there's been a couple times over the years where you're letting them know that, walks aren't tolerated. There are such thing as good walks. You got a base open. You got somebody, a superstar that doesn't want to beat you. The guy is at the plate who you don't want you to beat. We identify that before the series, but 90 feet, giving away 90 feet in any capacity is bad.
All right. So when you leave the dugout, let's say Mark Kotze says, go talk to him, or you just go, I'm going to go talk to him. The message, you have to be thinking about that message. You don't have a lot of time. I got to think it takes you, about 20 seconds to walk out to the mound. Are you formulating the message in your mind? Do you already know once you get out of the dugout, or as you're walking there, are you formulating like, this is what I think I'm going to say to him? And then how does that conversation always go? Can it switch once you get up there?
Yeah, well, I never walk out there, really. I mean, the only time I'm walking is if I feel like we need to stall sometime, but I'm getting to the foul line and then walking. I always feel like if you're walking, you're unprepared. So Keith Littman, our old farm director, taught me that. But I'm already have the message before I'm even making a trip. I'm looking one batter ahead on our scouting sheet. Okay, what am I going to go out here and talk to him about on this particular hitter? I'm trying to strategize. Sometimes Cots will say, you want to go out now? And I'm like, no, I need to go out on the next guy.
Yeah.
There's nobody in scoring position. The number of outs. You go out too early, you can't use a trip to help out the bullpen later. So there's a lot of strategy that goes on. But, obviously I'm going out and I'm always going to be positive, always going to talk about making a good pitch, whatever pitch you feel like is is your pitch, but maybe these are the intended areas we need to go to. You might have a pitcher you're going to say, hey, I need you to get something down and away. What pitch do you feel best about driving down and away? I need you to get something in here to jam them. What pitch do you feel best about coming in on this guy? Whether it's right on left, it's a cutter, it's a sweeper, it's a slider, or it's just a four-seamer in. So you're always formulating that game plan, but you're also giving them an autonomy and a little option. Sometimes you don't give them options, but, when it's their idea, it's a lot better. And when they feel good about it, it's a lot better.
What happens if you don't get the response? Because usually it's a lot of the guys nodding. But what happens when you don't get the response you're looking for from the pitcher? Maybe also with the catcher also.
Well, I mean, I can't really recall. We ask him, or I ask him, hey, when I get out there, give me the opportunity to speak first, and then you speak second. So, sometimes, when you get a lot of young pitchers, they're deer in the headlights at first and kind of just, listening, sulking it in. You're hoping they hear you. Maybe they don't hear you sometimes because of the atmosphere. Having the ability to slow the game down. Can you slow the game down right now? Can you throw a changeup to slow the game down? Can you find the strike zone with your pitch? And a lot of it is, hey, get to your pitch, get to your happy zone, and take a chance and see what happens sometimes.
You mentioned the game is really fast, and people don't think about that because we think of baseball as fans that it's a slow game, but it actually moves. Do PA one time, and you realize how fast it's battered. The game is cut. There's always action going on, especially for young players where they come up, where they talk about how it's just everything is faster at the major league level. We've talked recently to Tyler Soderstrom about that, also Jacob Wilson. So when you go out there and you talk to a pitcher, are there times when you realize, oh, yeah, it is sped up on him, and you can see it in his eyes?
Yeah, a lot of times you're out there, the first thing you're saying, all right, take a deep breath, take a breather. I need you to slow it down a little bit. I think we talked about this before. Like, I don't need you to be a linebacker right now. I need you to be a major league pitcher. No huffing and puffing going on. Don't try to throw the ball through the wall. Just try to execute one pitch at a time, which is the next pitch. So, there's a lot of, getting guys to just get out there and breathe a little bit and slow the situation down.
That's interesting. It's tough to do. It's right. It's really, hey, relax.
Yeah, relax. Yeah.
And it's really hard to do.
And then you got the clock now. I mean, the clock. Usually a pitcher could throw a pitch, catch the ball back, maybe walk around the mound, take a deep breath on his own, slow it down a little bit, gather your thoughts. What do I want to do? Boom, go up on the rubber, and here we go. But now it's like you catch the ball, you're in a rut. I'm sitting there going, should I make a trip? And then the clock's winding down, 6, 5, 4, fastball away. So that's also speeding the game up too, which I like.
How important is it to see Luis Severino in his 2 starts here? He'll say he really struggled, but to see him get into the 7th inning, into the 6th inning in these starts, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, a couple of pitches that, Tatis hits the backup slider for the homer last night, and Cronenworth got the backdoor sweeper for the homer. He got out in front of it. Just a couple pitches, maybe he would think maybe I should throw something else, or maybe I should execute a little bit better. But anytime you go into the 7th inning against a really good baseball team and you get through the 7th inning, it's kind of a win. We only had to use 2 pitchers. That was a win last night. Even though we lost the game, we were able to save a lot of bullets for tonight's game.
All right, we get into the pitching lab here. When you talk to Joey Estes, we all believe in him and his skill. What did you tell him, and what do you want him to work on down in Las Vegas?
Yeah, there were some things that Joey, had going on maybe a little bit in spring training that we were working on, and it's going to take him a while to get back to what he was last year. I hope it doesn't take him very long. But one's executing your pitches. You have to be able to execute your pitches. Last year, he was he's a command pitcher. He's a guy that's got to, spot up his fastball and be able to move his breaking pitches around and use that changeup to disrupt timing of the hitters. So it's about, one, you got to get back to what you do good. A lot of guys, and this isn't Joey Estes, this is a lot of guys that when you got data going around and they're telling you this is what you can do to be great, and then you skip steps to try to do things that you're incapable of doing right now, I think sets guys back. And I'm not saying this about Joey at all. I'm just saying about guys in general. But what I need Joey to do and what this organization needs Joey to do is get back to being Joey Estes first and then do some other things if needed.
I thought about you Sunday in our NBC postgame when the talk was he's lost a couple miles per hour on his velocity, and it's like, whatever your velocity is, whatever you got that day, you've got to be able to pinpoint. You got to be able to pitch inside the strike zone. No excuses. You got to go get people out because not every day you're going to have your best maximum velocity.
Yeah, if you're looking at what an elite pitcher does, they execute first. Then they have electric stuff, right? So everybody has to execute. So he just got to go down to AAA with Paul Abbott, Don Schultz, our pitching guys, and Mike McFerrin, our pitching coordinator, and just get back to executing pitches, moving better the way he does. And I got no issue with Joey. He's just got to get back to being Joey Estes.
All right, George in San Francisco, one of our great callers who is Japanese, and he goes to Japan a lot. He was just there for the Dodgers series against the Cubs at the Tokyo Dome, has sent and has had made an actual Mizuno doctor's coat, Dr. Emo. It's actually from Japan. Everything, all the writing on here is Japanese. This is the new and improved, the real deal Dr. Emo lab coat for you.
Well, it's a little embarrassing, but I thank you. It's awesome. I'll wear it at some point.
You're going to have to wear it out here on the show one day.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We throw a couple shutouts and then the doctor will really come do some surgery.
Well, you know what? You're doing a fantastic job. Team's off to it's not the best start, but you've seen your guys battle. You guys saw your guys battle in Chicago. They're fantastic in Seattle, and long way to go here. This isn't an easy homestand. Padres are a really good team. They're a team that puts the ball in play. They're a team that makes a lot of contact, and then after that, you got the Mets coming to town.
Yeah, every game's a grind in the big leagues for me. You feel like, you just got to go out there and prepare the guys the best you can. And, Marcus Jensen, our catching coach, and Dan Hubbs and I, we just, try to put the best game plan we would possibly put for these guys to go out and execute pitches and win ball games.
You're the best. We'll talk to you next homestand.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Dr. Emo right here on A's Cast Live. Taking you into the lab.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification right here on A's Cast. All right, we got to go now.
All right, what do we got tomorrow?
With no show tomorrow.
No, that's right, day game tomorrow.
We're taping an interview with Keenan Longo of Long Ball Labs, so we're going to talk torpedo bats. We'll have on the show this
Torpedo
weekend.
bats on Friday?
Yeah.
Get ready, torpedo bats, 4:30 on Friday. What else we got?
We'll have Mark Kotze and someone hopefully from the Mets.
Ron Darling, former A. Ron Darling going to be here?
Sent Darling an email, so we'll see.
All right. We'll have a great show for you coming up next. Johnny Doskow and the Hall of Famer, Ken Korak, and then Steve Sachs, two-time World Series champion, will join me. A's Cast on NBC coming up at 6:30. Thank you, everybody, watching for A's Cast Live. We'll see you on Friday.
A's catcher Shea Langoliers was on A's Cast Live in Mesa and highlighted the hunger the team has heading into 2025.
Looking back on 23, reflecting on that, like Kot said, it was a tough season, but we got through that and we're better for it. That group, that core group that you're talking about, being able to come up together and experience that, how tough that was together, it's only going to bring us closer together, make us stronger as a team. And you kind of saw that the back half of 24. And we're bringing that energy, that momentum into this 25 season. We're just going to keep building off of, the stuff we were building last year, the team chemistry, the team approach, just the simple things that, take time to create, like the environment, the atmosphere, stuff like that. And this core group, we've really bought into what we're doing here, and we're really excited about it.
You can watch the full interview at youtube.com/athletics or listen at athletics.com/A'sCast.